You get what you pay for.
All right, here with Highland Springs head football coach Loren Johnson of the three-time defending state champion Springers after their scrimmage with Thomas Dale, 26-0, two of the top programs in the state of Virginia. Coach, took a couple series for you guys to find your footing, but your defense was exceptional all afternoon long.
Yeah, and with all of the days that we've had weather-wise that have not allowed us to go outside and actually put pads on, you know, we had to make sure we got some things in order and just kind of slow down a little bit and get the kids where they needed to be. So I'm glad the defense held it down for us, put us in a position to be good. And then, you know, with us playing game situations, the defense and special teams allowed us to be in favorable field position, which allowed us to get going early.
Did you sense that with what we've had weather-wise here to start August, you guys had a good scrimmage last week with North Stafford, who's a top team in Class 5 as well, and you've got a lot of guys back, 18 starters, I think it is, both sides of the ball, that your defense would have to sit today because it was early morning, some guys are kind of feeling things out?
I didn't think that would be the case, right? And then we had the opportunity to go offense, you know, to start, but you know, with the kids just moving, kind of lackadaisical, kind of sluggish. I'm glad the defense and Coach Simmons had those guys ready to go, and they were able to run to the ball and make some plays happen.
Let's speak of those defensive guys before we move to the offensive side of the ball, because the offensive guys got our attention most of the time anyway. You've got all state level guys on each of the three levels. What have you seen so far through two scrimmages? Who are some of the guys that have stood out to you?
I mean, you know, you got to start off on the backside. The very back end is Tremaine Talbot. He didn't finish the end of the season for us because of an injury, but he's back. He's a field general out there for us, and you go to the next level, we got 2 or 3 guys over there that I really, really like. Christian White, #1 in that group. Jason Jones, I mean, played exceptionally well. This was his type of football game, you know what I mean? In the trenches, making plays, so he did an excellent job for us. And then on the defensive line, you know, Kieran Henderson played well, Evan Robinson played well, Suarez Ware, those guys played well up front. And, you know, we knew they had some guys that would play well on the defense side of the ball as well, so we didn't want those guys to outshine us, so we want to play as hard as possible.
Well, names that a year ago we didn't know for you guys defensively, now they're names that are known. And of course, they have some hallmark guys on offense, like you mentioned, Chris Tyree, a running back, Josiah Williams. You can go on top a little bit. You're glad to have him back. He's a factor, not just defensively, but special teams too.
Absolutely. I mean, he started off the year with a bang last year. You know, 2 punt returns for touchdowns against Hermitage, but they were called back, unfortunately, for us. But he's a guy that can make things happen for you on the offense side of the ball, defense side of the ball, and the special teams. So he's very valuable to our program.
Offensively, I want to get to your quarterback, Devontae Waller, and your deep running back field in a minute, but a new guy, wide receiver, is an all-state player, getting a lot of recruiting attention, Ali Jennings. How's he adjusting to you guys in the system you have?
I mean, he's adjusting extremely well. The amount of things that he's done in the offseason, in addition to, you know, what we've asked him to do in our program, is the result what you see today, right? So he's a guy that works extremely hard, and what he brings to our level is a heightened level of work ethic. And some people might say that's crazy, but for him, I mean, he's done it and done it extremely well. So for us, you know, we're happy to have him. I mean, he's a guy that's bought into our system. He's not complaining a bit. He understands the rotation and what's going on, and he makes exceptional plays when the ball is thrown his way.
From watching your program from afar the last couple of years, it looks like, and Jennings, the guy, had a touchdown before the half, got called back to penalty. The next play, you go to another receiver, he scores it for you. I think it was Triplett scored that touchdown. You guys have had receivers over the year. Kevon Wallace is now at Clemson, Greg Dortch at Wake Forest, Billy Kemp last year was at UVA. It seems like those guys push each other to try to get better, and there's a good competition there.
Yeah, absolutely, and they understand that we're going to try to get all of them on the field, right? So they always work, right? You tell a kid, well, you might get on the field, the kid might give you work. So we tell all those guys that they're going to play and play a lot. So those guys work hard, but they understand, you know, I have to coach them sometimes. Coach Scott, affectionately known Coach Puka, he coaches them, and then Harry Lee, who played wide receiver in college, he gets an opportunity to coach them as well. So they get the head coach, a wide receiver coach, and a guy that's played in college, you know, coaching them on a regular basis because there's so many of them, and they do a good job competing and challenging each other to be better.
Watching you guys run the ball, it's funny because you guys do it with power and speed, and you have your sub-ins, 2s, and 3s, but for you got 1, 2s, and 3s. You got Rabbit Smith in there, I think Foster Powell. In fact, your first scoring drive, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 3 different guys ran the ball for you.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that we want to do as well. I mean, you have talented kids. You want them to play in your program. You want them to be successful in your program, and when they leave your program. So the best way to do that is continue to play games. If you don't play games and put them in the games when it matters, then those cats, they kind of lose concentration, and we don't want them to do that at all.
Sure. You know how crucial the quarterback position is. You had a good one a few years ago in Joanna Poogie Carter, who's now at Norfolk State. Devontae Waller, last year was new on the scene, had to win that quarterback battle. Today, early on, you guys gave him some things, pointers, and he adjusted to it. What are you seeing out of him leadership-wise and performance-wise?
I mean, just he's flatline, right? He's calm, cool, collected. You know, he understands that Coach Johnson's going to get on him and challenge him to be better. And then when he has to be better, you know, we need him to go out and do it, and today he did. So he's going to make some mistakes. It's early in the year. We don't want to put all the onus and responsibility on him. It hinges on everybody in this football program, coaches and players alike. And he's the guy that, you know, he's going to find his groove. And then when he does, he's going to make some good plays for you and help you win some ball games.
Final one, I appreciate your time. It's sort of a multi-part question. 2 scrimmages in the books here, North Stafford, Thomasdale. You got your opener on tap here in a little bit with the Hermitage Panthers. New coaching change, but you know they've got athletes there. What have you liked? What have you not liked? Because you know this at Highland Springs now. What you've done is in the past. You guys have sent numerous guys on to college, 3 state titles, but everybody is circling you guys, bullseye, to try to knock you off. What have you liked? What have you not liked so far as you go into game 1?
I think what I've liked so far is just the competition. You noted it earlier. Our kids are going to compete. They know that there's multiple guys going to play the same position as them, so they got to get off the sideline, on the field, and make something happen. That's in practice and in the game. So you may only get 2 or 3 opportunities. In those 2 or 3 opportunities, you better make it happen for yourself. And that's offensive line, defensive line. That's every position on the football field. So that's one thing I like. The kids are competing. Nobody's complaining. All right. The one thing that I probably don't like is just a little sloppy at times. We hadn't had as much special teams work as we've had in the past in our scrimmages, and that's not something that I care for right now, but it's going to develop, and it's going to happen over a period of time. So we're going to spend a little bit of time focus on it this week coming up, more than we have in the last 2 weeks, even though it's been a lot. We'll probably put triple the emphasis on it this week as we have a week off, right, and no scrimmage, and we can spend some time on it. So, you know, with those things moving us ahead and moving us forward, I think we'll be in good shape going into week 1.
Thanks so much. You've been another exciting year for the Springers. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And one thing